So, what's up, everyone? Trade recap for the day. So, we took two trades. Both these trades were winning trades today. Was expecting price action to be a little bit more bearish, considering the whole thing with the Middle East, etc., that is going on. But price wanted to be bearish or bullish today. So, all in all, we caught two shorts. One short was a good one on Nvidia, and then the other one was a nice little one on ES here. So, let's go ahead and go over it real fast. So we can see all the confluences, etc., that we had. So obviously there was news coming out at 10 o'clock today. So we couldn't take a trade until after 10, right? Our draws on liquidity on ES, we had 4-hour high sitting within here, 4-hour low sitting within here. Cool. On the 4-hour time frame, we were very much bearish leading into market open. We did break structure to the downside sitting within here. Cool. On the hourly time frame, we were very much bullish on the hourly time frame, just due to the fact we broke structure to the upside throughout pre-market. We had our hourly high sitting within here. Cool. And we also had hourly lows sitting way down here. And we had a couple of imbalances as well, such as this hourly fair value gap right here that we're going to mark out for you guys. And again, I do like to mark out the imbalances on the hourly time frame just as potential levels of take profit, just because price sometimes will not push all the way down to our draws on liquidity. Instead, it will push into imbalances, which, give or take on the risk to reward, sometimes you can take profits out within those. Cool. And we also have an order block sitting within here. Cool. Either ways, go drop down to the 5-minute. What do we see come market open? We push into the hourly fair value gap. Then we have legs up from there and leading into market open. We come up, we sweep out the 930, aka this hourly high. Cool. We then create our little kill zone within here, which is just a place where I don't like to see price push above if we're trying to catch a short, right? Cool. What happens afterwards? We come down, we inverse this 5-minute fair value gap. And remember, we couldn't take a trade till after news came out at 10. Come on, 10 o'clock. Where are you at? Right there. 10 o'clock. Cool. After we inverse that fair value gap, I was waiting literally just for another 1-minute break to the downside. We already started continuing on this downtrend within here, but this was still in the same time of that inverse fair value gap. So what I was basically waiting for was just another break to the downside on the 1-minute, just to see a lot more continuation. And we did. We got that 1-minute break sitting here at 9:57. A little bit before news came out, right? So then we made another breaker block within here. Cool. What happened? And we also made a couple of imbalances. We also made this fair value gap, which we did come up and inverse. But we weren't too crazy about it because we pushed into the breaker block come news. As you can tell with this one news candle, this Smurf dick up, we come up here. This is why we it's a good idea to wait for news to come out, just because sometimes the new news candle, if you're entered into early, sometimes the news candle can come up and fuck you, or come down and fuck you, give or take it which way you're trying to trade, right? Either ways, we waited for news to come out. We waited for bearish order flow to kick in out of that breaker block, and we did at 10:02. We entered in next candle over. Our stops for this one were sitting above literally the confluence, but I did put it above kind of a little bit with this one wick at 10 o'clock. So it was like within the within the confluence, a little bit around this 1-minute wick sitting here. And of course, our take profits were, of course, pushing back into the hourly fair value gap and coming all the way down here to the order block, or coming down here to the breaker block on the hourly time frame. Boop. Let's go back to the hourly here. Coolio. So all in all, it was a solid trade. Like, we still hit our fair value gap sitting within here. And then we put our stops to break even after we took out some of the contracts. And then of course we stopped that at a break even. I was hoping for more bearish order flow to kick in with just NQ or ES today. But price moves the way that price wants to move. So going over Nvidia's trade for today, we've been honing in on Nvidia because we like to look at a lot of liquid stocks, and liquid stocks meaning stocks that just move with a lot more volume, and a lot more liquidity is just resting within those stocks compared to some of the lower end stocks that we are sometimes accustomed to looking at. Sometimes we have to rotate these bitches out and go look at ones that move a little bit more throughout the day, and then we can go back to some of the other ones that look like absolute complete garbage, right? Either ways, 4-hour high sitting within here, 4-hour low sitting within here. Cool. On the 4-hour time frame leading into market open, we were very much bearish on the 4-hour time frame. We did break structure to the downside sitting within here. So leading into market open, as you can tell from judging from the highs, we have a high sitting within here, didn't break above. High sitting within here, didn't break above, and we had a high sitting within here, we didn't break above. So we were still bearish on the 4-hour time frame. And on the hourly time frame as well, leading into market open, we were very much bearish. And so this is why we caught a short on this today. We had hourly highs sitting within here, and obviously we had hourly lows sitting within here as well. Cool. All in all, go over to the 5-minute. What do we see come market open? We come up, we sweep out these hourly draws on liquidity. We then proceed to make our kill zone within here. Cool. We get this move down, get this move back up at 940. Remember, we can't take a trade till after 10. So we all in all, we kind of had to wait just a little bit for NVIDIA to give us that nice little bit of an entry within there. Cool. What happens while we're waiting for a 1-minute break to the downside. We get that 1-minute break sitting within here. Cool. We can mark out all of our imbalances within here. We have a breaker block sitting within here. Our order block starts from way the fuck down here. So I really didn't give too much care in the world about it, especially since we did have news coming out at 10 o'clock. We also did make this imbalance sitting within here on the 1-minute time frame. And obviously we made equilibrium within there as well. So what happens is price pushes back up, especially with this 10 o'clock candle, pushes back up into the fair value gap and into the breaker block. We have bearish order flow out of it next candle over. My entry was right here. My stops are sitting literally smack down right the fuck where that was. And our take profits, of course, were equilibrium, hourly low, and of course 4-hour low sitting within here. We did take off a couple of contracts at equilibrium on the hourly time frame. So whenever we push straight down into, if I can get it honed in, right, we'll make the equilibrium blue. I know we normally make the breaker blocks blue, but for now we'll just make equilibrium blue. On the hourly time frame, we came down, pushed straight into those, took a little bit off, came down, pushed into the hourly, took off a little bit more. And then we put our stops to break even. And obviously the trade went and stopped us out at break even. So all in all, we still managed. This was a good risk. It was Friday. So we had to kind of go in with a little bit of just small contract size with this, just because Fridays and Mondays are just not the ideal days to try to over leverage or over risk. If you over risk on a Monday and you end up losing, it means you have to fucking, if you're not a good trader or whatever, and you're trying to earn that shit back throughout the rest of the week. And then if you go heavy on Friday and you lose on Friday, guess what? You have Saturday and Sunday to think about your fuck up. So it's best to kind of just minimize the fuck up that could happen and just go in with a small contract size. Still obey your strategy, still obey with your risk management. It's just that you're not over leveraging on Mondays and Fridays. So all in all, what can I do better on this trade? Just waiting for news. Like, news is a big thing. Waiting till 10 o'clock is sometimes sucky, but all in all kind of keeps you disciplined. As far as execution wise goes, we execute it normally, same shit every day. Yeah. So hopefully everyone had an awesome trade. If you guys had a bad trade today, I'm sorry. If you guys had an awesome one, awesome shit, journal your shit down. Take the weekend off. Relax, call it a fucking day. Coolio. I'll catch you guys all in tonight's live stream. Deuces.